How are y'all doing? It's me, Gaboon, and Vultures dropped. And I actually did have a whole reaction to the album along with my thoughts for each song. Sad that I couldn't get that video up. I have some very humble beginnings. I just got a phone. That's what I use to do everything, and I use CapCut. Sadly, with how everything was, CapCut with that video took up 12 gigabytes, and I did it. It was pushing everything. It was just not working out for me. So I decided to, and I didn't think of doing this until after I'd already kind of removed everything besides the review part of it, like my thoughts on each song. But I could have just done like tidbits of it, like whenever I'm giving thoughts, but like actually show a point from the reaction and be like, bam. But I didn't think of doing that. So for now, you only have the review. For Vultures 2, maybe 2 and 3, I might just do solo reaction entirely. Kind of how I would do like a trailer or something that I've reacted to in the past. Kind of like that, where I have thoughts and what I hope for before starting the track, and then in the middle, of course, you have where the song starts, and then at the end, you just have my thoughts on it. I might do like that for Vultures 2 and 3, just for each song individually. But for this one, since I already reacted to it and just don't have those files anymore, I'm not gonna like re-react to them because it's not even a react. It's not gonna be like a first time anymore. So you only have my thoughts on each song. So if the review doesn't seem like perfect, it's because I kind of also still gave thoughts during each song. I wasn't sitting there just like, no, I wasn't like that during each song. I would still like talk and everything, like what you're supposed to do during a reaction, and I would just give my thoughts at the end of each thing. So if these are not the best, I'm sorry. But if they are pretty good, then hey, yay for me, I guess. But yeah, on to the reviews and enjoy. This was also taken during a late night because that's whenever it dropped for me. So yeah. Also, while I'm on it, I didn't realize this until after I'd already reacted to it. But it was dropped 20 years the same day that the College Dropout was dropped 20 years ago. And while I still like the College Dropout more, I can still say this is one of his better works, I feel, and that's saying a lot because honestly, Kanye is my favorite music artist. So I really enjoy all of his work, except for maybe Jesus is King because I've not heard that. Who knows? Maybe that'll be the one where I'm like, I actually just dislike this project, but I don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, no more dilly dallying around. I'll let past Gaboon take the stage now. So my thoughts for the track Stars. It's a good opening, it's a minute and 55 seconds, it ain't really a long song. It's just supposed to be like, hey, set the tone for the album, stuff like that. And does it do that? I don't know, because it's the first time listening. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But overall, it's a good intro. I think it just sounds good. I'll definitely be re-listening to this. But it's just a nice little chill song. It's kind of like a vibe, I feel, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's deep. I don't know. But yeah, not really like too deep thoughts I have on it. Just I thought it sounded nice, and maybe on some re-listens, maybe if it does have deep lyrics, I'll understand them in the future. But for right now, I just think it's kind of just like a nice chill song that you just vibe to. I will admit, while I wasn't necessarily paying like full 100% attention to it because I still wanted to be entertaining while reacting to it, I do think, it definitely had its lyrics that were deep, and maybe I was about to say maybe. But no, I definitely missed out on some. I think I'm just gonna say the only one line that he said, because after the trauma bonding thing, how he thought he was the only one. I'm just, maybe it's just me overestimating, but I'm currently thinking that it might be kind of a reference to the song "Only One," which was about his daughter North. Which, I mean, he does say something about having another kid later anyway, how that's an end goal. But also because I think it's been said before that the name Kanye, which is why his mother went with this name, is because it also means only one, because that was her only kid. Like I said, for stuff that was actually deep that I missed, I do apologize, and maybe I'm just overestimating that lyric. But I do think that the lyrics for this were actually supposed to be deep, and I just missed them. So yeah, overall though, still a really nice sounding song. Have to go back to re-listen to it later to decide on, or not decide, see what I'm missing out on from doing an in video form. Um, so yeah, but based on what I'm saying right now, I did still enjoy the song. Now, I did say while reacting to it, I'm sorry if I keep rubbing my eyes because of this light, honestly, I need to dim it a little bit, but I also want to be seen. I did say while reacting to it, maybe I just missed everything because I was vibing more than paying attention, to be quite honest. It's kind of one of those hype songs, I feel, but maybe it's a deep song, I don't know. I was vibing way too hard, but on the vibe part of it, I really did enjoy that song, to be quite honest. Now, I'm, like I said, like with the first two, I'm gonna re-listen to them. Stars, kind of just sound like an intro, you know, just something to get you into the album. Keys, it sounded, it was supposed to be, it sounded like it was lyrically deep, and I didn't catch everything. So I'll be going back through that to catch everything. This one just sounded kind of like a hype song, but I might have missed things. So, but on the hype part of it, like kind of most people when it comes to hype songs, we're gonna be having that in the playlist in the rotation. But also if it's deep, then I can just go back and be like, you know. So yeah, that's my game plan with Paid, and hopefully you enjoyed it too. Okay, so my thoughts on talking, as well as, you know, once again, even though with the audio it only says talking, I thought, like, when it was just North, it was still, like, a good song. I did actually have it on repeat, to be quite honest. I thought, you know, for a 10-year-old, she's pretty good at rapping, bro. Imagine her, like, 20, 30, whatever, you know, 10 years from now. But no, also, it's just, like, also, like, a song that Ty now can have for his daughter. And, you know, we get, you know, Ty saying, like, things like how he's kind of afraid for stuff. You know, he's still, like, he doesn't know. I guess kind of like, I guess the simple way of saying this is what I feel like is kind of like the masculine approach, which is how a guy shouldn't, you know, normally doesn't express their feelings, but he's still, like, afraid for choices his daughter makes. And it's just kind of nice that we get this little song on here. I think so. I don't know. Then again, everybody was still, like I said there in the reaction, people were straight up hating on North, bruh, because of stuff Kanye said. So, you know what? Maybe it's not cool. Who knows? So, like I said, Back to Me, probably, from what I know so far, might be my favorite song on the album. Maybe someone else could take it, but, you know, I heard Back to Me from the first Vultures listening party, where they also had, like, things like Everybody. There was also Vultures. Well, okay. You already know what I'm talking about.
And beautiful big titty but naked women just don't fall up the sky, you know.
That was the first time I heard it, and I'm not gonna lie, at that time it was, well, if you already know that based on me saying that, but it is my favorite song from the album so far, and it was one I was already like, yes. I also have heard some later songs that I just really don't remember how they go, but Carnival also, I really like. Oh, excuse me, I don't know where that burp came from. But yeah, maybe this or Carnival, honestly, are the ones I'm gonna like the most. I do know that Carnival doesn't have the sample anymore due to legal reasons. So hey, definitely my favorite so far. So yeah. All right, HOODRAT. If it is, I really need to start paying attention a little bit more. So I don't think it was a deep song. If it was, like I said, what I just said a second ago, definitely a song. It's probably, I hate to say, probably my least favorite so far, to be quite honest. Like, definitely the one I've enjoyed the least. Not even a bad song, just the one I've enjoyed the least. I think my favorite part was the one I heard the least of, because I was talking over it, was the Mike Tyson speech that's probably about Kanye at the end. And whatever it's about, it sounds like, yeah. Honestly, I think he should have sampled the Cat Williams thing, where he's kind of like, I don't support or denounce Kanye. I forgot what word he used. Maybe he did say denounce, I don't know. But yeah, I think he should have used that, because it's like, or maybe not, I don't know. But he did, I know on Carnival, he did say, I'm the new Jesus. So maybe he's also kind of using that being, because he's back on the timing of what he was with on Jesus, with a song like I Am a God, or even though he's not straight up saying that he is God, he's still kind of like, I have that will to change the world. I know that's not all what he said on I Am a God, but still, in terms of context of where that song was placed at, like what song was before that, and then yeah, that's just my take on it. I don't know. For being after Black Skinhead, and then when you get I Am a God, that's just my perspective. I think it's him trying to convince himself of stuff. Maybe he's back on that timing again. You never know. So yeah, definitely like. I also revisit this song. Like I still enjoyed it, but I will admit it is the one I've enjoyed the least. It's been the one that I find the most uninteresting, which is kind of weird to say because Yeezus is personally my favorite Kanye album, and I feel like this did kind of have a Yeezus vibe to it, so that feels really weird to say. But then again, like Yeezus, I disliked it at first, until like the album, I mean, for Yeezus. And maybe this one I'll end up calling my favorite. Maybe it'll just grow on me like Yeezus did. So I said this in the reaction. This was at first, when it kind of was going, I was like, it's okay, but now this is actually kind of becoming my least favorite. But overall, after we got to like that third verse after Kanye's, I was like, no, this is actually it's cool, bruh. It's a cool song. Yeah, I was just like, but now this is this is not my least favorite anymore. We're back to HOODRAT being the worst one on here. I don't think I've heard like a bad track yet, like not one where I've straight up been like, yeah, I just don't like it, but I'm still like HOODRAT, my least favorite. This one, because of the third verse, a close second, but not my least favorite. But yeah, mostly the third verse definitely saves the song for me. And production on all these songs, I haven't really even talked about the production too much. The production on all these songs is really good. I definitely will say that, like I said, because of this is definitely a more lackluster thing just because of the song itself, but the instrumental does carry just a little bit as well for me. But that was also kind of during the third verse, to be quite honest, as well. I don't know why I'm trying to sound like a music critic. I'm supposed to be on here just enjoying an album, and I'm giving like Anthony Fantano level reviews. Not really, but yeah. In the dark, no less. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on the song. I don't want to say my least favorite. I feel like that's an L take. I think it was a good song. No, I'm not going to say least favorite. I was about to say hot take and actually say that, but no, not my least favorite, honestly, as well. This is still, I still like this more than HOODRAT. I don't really know. So far, it's like, they're not bad songs, but they're not as good as the first 4 songs. These last 3 have been kind of more lackluster compared to the first 4, and hopefully I'm not alone on that because I don't want to be bullied off of the internet just because of that take. Yeah, not really too deep thoughts. I like the instrumental more than I think I liked any of the verses on the song, to be quite honest. So, but like I said, like every other song on this album, I'm gonna have to re-listen to it. Was because of my attention span. It's not more on the song itself, but more kind of mixed between that and doing this for camera. So I could be maybe these songs could become my favorite. Who knows? But yeah. Oh wait, 5 because back to me. I was looking at my tabs. My bad. Yeah, that's I don't know. Don't know if this is a hot take. Second favorite song on the album. I know some people probably be like, no, it's my favorite. Fuck this guy, man. But no, this is probably I still think my favorite is Back to Me. Burn is also really good, though, to be quite honest. You know, the instrumental just nice, clean little, just a nice, clean instrumental. The lyrics are actually pretty cool, though. And even though there are some things I prefer about this version of what I heard in the original version, Ye joining in during the hook. He's like, burning like a candlelight. But that was not good at all. Do not cheer for me. But also, I mean, it's roughly the same. It's not like they like did anything too different. They just tweaked it just a little bit, like added some stuff in there. But those little bits, just those little bits, you know, it made it so much more. But yeah, overall, just my opinion on that still kind of stands from when I first heard it, even though I never gave my opinion originally on it, because it's my first time actually giving an opinion on anything Vultures related besides the listening party, I think. No, I did say something about the Vultures the song when it dropped. So yeah, besides that, no other songs on this album have I given an opinion of. even whenever I've heard other versions of them. So with Fuck Some, I honestly, you know, I don't want to say it is a third, because I'm still like songs like I still like Stars and Keys a lot. Keys, wait, what was it called again? Keys to My Life. That's what it was. Yeah, I just referred to Keys because I forgot the name. But yeah, I still like Stars and Keys to My Life, but I'm still like, man, Fuck Some was pretty cool though. Like that was just a kind of like a hype song, but still, man, that hype though, bro. I was turning up even if the reaction got really boring because all I did was sing in silence and reference. I will say I was kind of hyped because I thought I was going to hear Travis because I swear I heard The Flame or whatever, bro. I was like, that was not at all Travis, bro. Do not. Whew, my impressions are ass today. But no, but yeah, I thought I was going to hear Travis and that had me really hyped. But nope, there was no Travis. I guess Kanye's a little irritated about Utopia not being on there. Got kicked off from what I heard. He's getting back at him. He's salty. Not really, but actually that would be kind of funny if that was actually the reason. But I don't think he is because, you know, Rome. Now, even though I still, you know, of course, the anti-Semitic line, it's wild. It's a wild one that, you know, the racism shouldn't exist. I'll just say that. But I'm not gonna lie. Kanye's verse is no longer my least favorite verse on the song. It has grown on me a lot. But I feel like the very first verse, I think that was Bump J. And I think the second was Lil Durk. In which case, Lil Durk's is my least favorite. But the very first one, I think that's Bump J's verse. Still, I highly enjoy that one. But Ty's verse is definitely my favorite. That one, it's just melodic and just it's a vibe, man. I gotta give my love for that verse. Nothing really too much. It's just, you know, it was the single for the album, kind of. So yeah. Not heavy thoughts, honestly. Just A-OK song. But I won't lie. My favorite verse was the Kanye verse. That went the hardest for me. And I won't lie. I do kind of miss the Iron Man sample. I know the Hell of a Life still was illegally sampled Iron Man. It's just, you know, in terms of how the instrumental sounds, it's different. So, I mean, I already know whenever he was told, no, you can't use Iron Man live, he just said, fine. I'm going with my own song that sampled it. I feel like he did that not only... it's either one or the other, and I feel like it's probably just one, but what if it were both of what I'm about to say? Both of them. And not only just to piss Ozzy off even more, but also just also to remind us that he is the GOAT, bro. He's still like, yo, I know that lately I've not been making music that's on the level of something like Dark Fantasy, but but I probably only did just to piss off Ozzy, to be quite honest. He's like, you still gave it to me 10 years ago, so actually 14 now I think about it, because that was 2010. Wild. That's insane to me. So I only remembered the hook for Beg Forgiveness and, you know, the You've Gone Too Far, this, you know, that one. And that's all I really knew about it, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of my more favorite tracks on the album. Definitely a top 5, honestly. I will say it was... Well, it didn't even feel like 6 minutes, honestly. In terms of how it felt, I think it felt like 4, honestly. So it feels like there's 2 minutes less to this song. It wasn't slow in any way. It felt like a natural progression for a song. And it wasn't even like it felt like 6 minutes of time for even good 6 minutes. It just felt like an actual, like, it felt less than that. And I feel like that is something that's also very important, because if you're legitimately enjoying something like that and the time passes like that, then you gotta at least give it some props on that one, you know? And yeah, it was also just kind of a vibe. The lyrics were, even on Ty's side, even though there was much more like him talking about himself with personal things like his sex life, or at least that's what I think it was about. I don't know, maybe I'm just completely stupid. But it was still kind of nice to hear that, as somebody who's never heard Ty. And for Kanye, it was kind of nice hearing him. It was nice hearing the bit more of his personal feelings, when they're not about other types of beliefs he has. You know, I definitely I know a lot of people like to be like, he's actually a narcissist who doesn't care about anybody else but himself, like even his kids, and it's just like, and I can say that because I've seen that take up a lot on Twitter for people that like just hate ride Kanye, and it's like, I mean, he's definitely got an ego on him, that's for sure. I think everybody personally has an ego. It's just Kanye has more of an ego than most people, and to be honest, I'm gonna say there's really nothing wrong with that as long as he doesn't start saying like I'm better than you and putting others down. Which I mean, maybe he has done that, and I just haven't seen those types of things in terms of like how that would be. You know, like I am better than you, and you'll never. Well, okay, that's he said that on Chakras where you'll never be me, but I mean like when he's straight up saying like you will, you know, in a very like putting you down type way. Like, I don't think I've heard him do that before. I just think he just believes himself maybe a little too much sometimes. Bro, my mouth was like blurry for a second, or at least I thought it was. And I don't think there's really anything wrong with having a belief, even if it is extremely exaggerated. And it's just kind of nice to hear him say stuff like, "Hey, I had a lovely life. You know, even with all the stuff that's happened throughout the last year and just last decade, from the Taylor Swift 2009 incidents all the way to even now where he's still said stuff like how he still likes Hitler, he still, at the end of the day, had a lovely life. And should he die today or tomorrow, just tell his kids to have a lovely life as well." And yeah, it's just... And like I said, the song itself is just a vibe. And yeah, no, this has got to be definitely one of my favorites on the album. Top 5, if not top 3, to be quite honest with you. I really like this song a lot. Alright, so my thoughts on that track. Not gonna lie, that is now my least favorite song on the album. It just, I wasn't really feeling the song, honestly. It's kind of like a thing where it's like, I don't dislike it, but I also don't like it at the same time. You know, I'm sure you've had those tracks where it's like, you don't like it, but you do like it at the same time. That's kind of what I feel with this song, you know. Most of the time, whenever I do feel like that with a Kanye song, it's something like, with Easy or Ecstasy, you know. It's like, the song sounds nice, but in terms of probably why it was made during that time when those songs were made, it makes me not exactly like them, because it's like, oh, whoa, okay, oh, no. Those are made in not good headspaces. And, this song is kind of the opposite for me. It's like, I mean, yeah, it sounds good, you know, the sample's nice, but it just seems kind of lackluster, honestly, to where I don't really feel the song, to be honest. Alright, so I'm gonna feel like those lyrics were pretty deep. Not like his deepest, even for this album, I feel, but like, it was overall, it did have like meaning to it, to where you can go back and if you miss things, be like, in the future. And also, it did have, like, some references, I feel like. And, like, the final line being this shit is fucking ridiculous. It's like, bro, that was some So Appalled. And there's also, what was the thing? It sounded like the line from Monster. Oh, yeah, about, like, something about the hands or whatever. Throwing hands at the concert or whatever. And it's like, yo. See, I feel like with this album, I sound like the biggest dark fantasy, like, dick writer. It's not even my favorite album, honestly. I just recognize a lot of these references, and I still think it's a good album, but it's just a lot of those references. And I feel like maybe that's kind of another reason I enjoy this song a little bit, because I caught those references. Be like, aha! I know the final line is definitely a reference. Maybe the Throwing Hands one could have been just an original one and not actually a reference to the song Monster. But if it is, I'm glad I was able to be like, aha! I caught that! You know, that feels good, you know? So yeah, yeah, I thought it was a pretty good song, actually. Not my absolute favorite, not top 5, but I actually think it's one of the better songs on the album. I think there's only been like the 2 songs at most where I'm like, not feeling it too much, but overall, besides that, this has been a solid album for me, to be quite honest. Alright, I'm just gonna give my thoughts on both the song and then Vultures entirely. So King was not. I was about to say it's not my favorite, but it's also not lackluster. I feel like it's kind of somewhere in the middle where it's actually not a bad song. It's still a really good song actually. But it's also one of those where it's like, I don't know how to feel about it. I know that I like it, but like I don't know if I like. No, I do like it for those reasons. Yeah, I don't know. I feel kind of conflict. It's one of those where it's like, I don't know how to word this one. Honestly, I don't know how to describe my feelings on King. I feel like it's a good outro though because we still have volumes 2 and 3 to go. I feel like this is him kind of ending it off because like the listening parts he had like the Jason mask. It seems like he's kind of painting himself as this villain type figure. And maybe him saying things like, yeah, I've been labeled things like crazy, bipolar, anti-Semitic. And still saying, but he's still a king. Is him kind of embracing that villain role just a little bit, but then not because he is these things, it's just what he's been labeled. And maybe by volume 3, maybe he'll be saying he's a different person or realizing something. But maybe he won't be, you never know. I'm just going on a theory of what maybe this is. But, I don't know, I still feel like for volume 1, this is a pretty good outro song. And since we're past King, I want to give my thoughts on Vultures as a whole. I don't like giving a score for a first time listen, but I'm going to just for the first time listen because that's apparently what I should have been supposed to do, I guess. I don't know. But I would give this, honestly, an 8 out of 10. And the reason being is because, like I said, there's like 2 songs, and Good being one of them, that I just didn't exactly care for. And I've already kind of said my reasons for those, but like overall, it's just kind of like they're okay, but they're not like they were kind of lackluster, especially compared to some of the other songs on the album, like Carnival, Burn, Vultures. Even it's like those songs were really good, and then you got a song like Good, where it's like it's okay, but it's not like his best even through this album, much less his entire catalog. And, still have, like, 2 others to go. And maybe by those 2 others, maybe I could feel different about just this album. But as of right now, I feel like I'm giving this a strong... I sound like Anthony Fantano when I say this, a strong 8, honestly. I will say Good is my least favorite song, honestly, from Volume 1. And my favorite? Ooh, I actually don't know. I want to go back and re-listen to them, honestly, before I say that. But I'll say my top 5 in no particular order. Back to Me, Beg Forgiveness, Carnival, Fuck Some. And, I actually really liked Keys in My Life. I thought that was a really good song, honestly. I feel like whenever I went on for Beg Forgiveness, that was the longest one I did for when I was giving my thoughts on the song. And that's because I really enjoyed it. That actually might be my favorite album on the song now. I really thought that was a good song. But, yeah, I will be trying to react to volumes 2 and 3. I would say definitely, but you never know. So I'm just going to say I'm going to try to. But, I will say if everybody that sees this just fucking hates this reaction, then I probably... No, I'll still do it because I want to react to them. So, yeah, I'll still react to those. I'll just try to do better next time, I guess. But, yeah, so I guess if you enjoyed this reaction and want to see me react to those, then stay tuned for March 8th and April 5th. And also, I guess, subscribe, follow my other socials. You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat. No, you can't find me on Snapchat. I lied. You can't find me on Snapchat. But you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, the TikTok if I'm really just needing attention. Because that shit is going to be infrequent as hell, bruh. Like, nah. But, yeah, you can find me on those. Or you can just follow my Linktree if you ever go to those sites. I actually might just link my Linktree on my YouTube, honestly, because, yeah. But, that's about it. But, of course, as always, I hope y'all have a damn good one. Take care of yourselves.